We all take it for granted. When we look up in the sky, there it is, our life-giving star. But what if one day the sun just vanished? It's an impossible scenario, right?
Well, not exactly. Let's imagine what would happen if the sun were to disappear.
It is hard to imagine a world without the sun. It is the center of our solar system and the source of the energy that makes life possible on Earth. The sun provides light, warmth, and energy to our planet, and its disappearance would have catastrophic consequences for humanity and the entire ecosystem. In fact, the sun is not just a star. It is the beating heart of our solar system. It is the source of light, warmth, and life. Without it, Earth as we know it would not exist. But what if we were to turn off the sun for just one day? What would happen? First, we need to understand that even if the sun were to disappear, Earth would continue to orbit around it for about 8 minutes. This is because light and gravity travel at the same speed. So when we look up at the sun, we are seeing it as it was 8 minutes ago. When the sun disappeared, we would still see it in the sky for 8 minutes. Then darkness would fall across the globe. Not a gentle night, but an absolute terrifying blackness. Cities would plunge into chaos, temperatures would plummet, and panic would spread. People would run through the streets, desperately trying to find an answer for what had happened. But as the minutes turned into hours, the realization would dawn on them that the night might never end. Within the first hour, global temperatures would drop rapidly. In a single day without the sun, the surface would cool by dozens of degrees. Crops would begin to wither, animals would grow restless, and birds would lose their sense of direction. Humans would huddle together for warmth, desperately trying to conserve their energy. As night fell, the temperature would continue to drop. By midnight, the world would be plunged into a deep freeze. Cars would sputter and die, factories would shut down, and communication systems would begin to fail. People would desperately try to find shelter from the freezing cold, but nowhere was safe. By the end of the night, the temperature would reach below zero. People would die from exposure. Animals would freeze, and plants would wither. The world would be plunged into darkness and silence. If the sun were to disappear, we would only have one day to find a solution to our problem. We could try to use mirrors or lasers to reflect light onto the Earth, or we could launch a massive fleet of rockets to create artificial suns. But even if we were able to do these things, we would only be prolonging the inevitable. The sun will eventually run out of fuel, and when it does, Earth will wander silently into the void. In a single day, we would see our future. A future without the sun. A future without hope. Some of you might think that this is a doomsday scenario, but it is not. The sun will not disappear. It is not going to happen. But it's always good to be prepared for any eventuality. So let us enjoy the sun while we can. Because one day it will die, and when it does, we must be ready to face the long night. You know, it's strange how something as simple as the sun disappearing can evoke such strong emotions in us. On one hand, it's just a star. A big ball of burning gas that gives off light and heat. But on the other hand, it's also the reason why we're alive. Without the sun, there would be no Earth as we know it. What do you think would happen if the sun disappeared? How would you survive? Let me know in the comments below. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time!